Hi everyone, I'm Mike Staver, the author of Leadership Isn't for Cowards, and your host in certain learning adventures and experiences that I hope will add value to your work and personal life. What I wanted to share with you today is a concept that I've used with leaders throughout the years, with thousands of leaders throughout the years, to talk with them about what it is that distracts them from being the most successful. And the reason this is important is because I've found, as I've worked with leaders, that they have a tendency to have really good intentions, but often there's a gap between what they intend to do and what they actually do. In our coaching practice, we find consistently that our clients and leaders say, Mike, I really want to do this, but sometimes I end up doing that. Does that ever happen with you? Well, that's what I've committed my coaching practice to and all of the content that we deliver on a regular basis. And I thought it might be useful for you today for me to share one of the primary reasons leaders get distracted. That's called the shiny ball syndrome. You ever had that happen to you where you thought you were really focused, you were working really hard on a project, and all of a sudden something distracted you? Maybe it was a ding in your email. Maybe it was somebody calling you that they needed something. Maybe it was one of those God-forsaken, take too long, don't accomplish anything meetings. We call that shiny ball syndrome. Shiny ball syndrome's like squirrel. Anytime you get distracted from doing something that you know you need to do, that's shiny ball syndrome. And so what I want you to think about is this. Why exactly does that work so well? And it usually works well because we get focused on what we think is tapping us on the shoulder instead of what's most important. So how is it that you as a leader can evaluate what's most important? You evaluate what's most important by what's going to yield the greatest result. If I put energy into this particular project, is it going to give me the kind of result that I need? And then you say, I am going to set aside time. I'm going to turn off the notifier on my phone. I'm going to turn off the indicators on my computer such that I focus on the things that are going to get me the best result by the end of the day or the end of that particular period of time. By doing that, what you start to do is increase the thing that makes leaders the most important, and that is the focus that they have all day, every day. So what are your shiny balls? What are the things that get in the way of you doing the things that you know you need to do every day such that you create the kind of outcomes that you need to create? There are two things I want you to do starting right now. I want you to focus on, number one, looking at the three things that distract you the most, and I want you to turn off whatever those things are just for 10 minutes a day and focus. Not for the whole day, not for every day, just 10 minutes a day. Turn off the distractions and focus on the things that are not shiny balls. The second thing I want you to do is ask somebody to hold you accountable for that so that they're constantly asking you those questions. And the third thing is I want you to write down the results you create when you're in the midst of that activity. You know, I find that most of the time people that have good intentions want to do something. So my question is, how are you going to turn your intentions into reality? How are you going to make your intentions become more real? And you'll do that using the steps I just shared. Very soon, I'm going to be sending you another learning module that's going to talk specifically about how to identify that specific behavior. But in the meantime, do your best to eliminate the shiny ball syndrome. I'm Mike Staver. I'll see you next time. Take care.